They closed the road for the winter. This is going to be extremely cold. Very cold. That's a lot of ice on the front windows. I put up this tube here. Hot air from the whole van basically is coming through here. It is almost 8, time to turn up the heat. It's been minus 15, it's minus 14 now. Good morning. It's a beautiful cold morning. It's nearly 9 o'clock and my propane bottle number 2 just gave me a warning that it's empty, so the heater stopped. It's a pretty good timing because I already heated the van up to 17 degrees, so usually do up to 20 in the morning. So it's time to change the bottle. It's minus 14 now, and it's been down to minus 16 through the night. Time to head out and change the bottle. Oh, look at this. Wow. That's amazing. What a morning. Gonna need this today. All right. Let's get this going again. What an amazing morning. Got Jotunheimen out here and it's just stunning. It's very cold. I'm using a lot of propane because I'm not holding back on the heat inside my van here, and the days are so short that it's basically dark like 18 to 20 hours. Gets pretty cold. Also, when I'm staying put somewhere like this to work, I keep the propane running all through the day. Got my coffee, the most important meal of the day. And I'm gonna move today. I think the road to Sognefjellet is open. It's gonna get mighty cold up there, and then there's gonna be another snowstorm in a few days, but I wanna get up there when that road is open and see that area in winter. That's a very rare area to be able to see in winter unless you go on a long skiing backpacking trip. So I got the engine started. It was down to minus 16.5 just a second ago, but now the sun is up and it's saying minus 14 now. So now I'm just gonna let the engine run and see if the heating system on my Leisure battery is working. The temperature of the lithium battery was minus 1 degrees Celsius. That is 31 degrees Fahrenheit, and it should heat itself up slowly until it can receive a charge from the alternator of the van. So a second ago the temperature was minus 1, now it's 0. So that's apparently working. It will not receive a charge until it reaches like 3, 4, or 5 degrees Celsius. So you can see there's 0 going on in the charging here. It says 74% left of the battery. I think it's a little bit less because I've been charging some lightweight stuff like camera batteries and stuff, and then it'll drain the battery without showing up on the state of charge bar here. So I'm guessing it's closer to like 60% right now. Waiting for this to heat up. So breakfast is served. Got my fruity granola bowl with banana and yogurt. And I'm checking the weather forecast for where I'm gonna go. So today is Tuesday, December 3rd. And today is gonna be beautiful. Tomorrow it's gonna be beautiful, cold. And Thursday there's another snowstorm in the afternoon. Wonder where I'm gonna stay for that. I have a couple of days to get up on Sognefjellet, on the other side of Jotunheimen. I think that's the goal. But first I'm gonna head down to Vågåmo and change that propane bottle that was empty, and then I'm gonna head somewhere to empty my toilet. Get some more fruit. It is mighty cold, but so beautiful outside. Right, I think we're good to go. Got the frost shield mounted on the radiator. It's always a little bit clumsy the first time of the season because I forgot how to do it. Now it's in place. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. It's actually 11:30ish now. Took a while to get going. And my battery has not reached the charging temperature yet, which is kind of a bummer. Let's hope it'll get enough electricity from the alternator while I'm driving to start charging. It is still a -15, so it's pretty cold for the sun to be out and everything. So down to Vågamo, get some stuff done, and then up to Sognefjellet. Coming down this 10% grade icy hill here. down towards Vågamo. Luckily, it's been so cold now that it's turned into dry ice. That is not as slippery as if it was wet, but it's still a spot where you have to be really careful. Just past Leirdalen, and I'm heading up on Sognefjellet. Never been up here in winter because it's usually closed, but now, until further notice, the road is open between 8 in the morning and 8 at night. So you can drive up and stay the night, but the road will be closed usually. It's gonna be mighty cold for a couple of days, and then there's a big snowstorm, so we'll see what happens. Gonna get some beautiful days first. Out here is Leirdalen, that you might remember from the end of the winter season last year. I did that ski trip. Beautiful place. Look at this. This is quite the place. pretty epic light. It's only 2:45 and it's getting dark. This is an incredibly lonely mountain in winter. Not a lot of people up here now. It's pretty cool. Always get the feeling of Lord of the Rings vibe when I'm up here, even though it might not have anything in common with the Lord of the Rings. It still feels like that to me for some reason. This road here is quite icy. Gotta keep momentum. This is not a place for bad tires. Haha, that was the perfect location for meeting that car, so I didn't have to lose my momentum. $1,207 meters here. What a beautiful place. Oh, look at that black smoke there. Well, we're getting up into glacier country now. And it is slippery. It is getting super cold. Wow, look at these mountains. That is amazing. We're at 1,300 meters. Difficult turn. I think we're above where the snow was thawing. What a winter scenery. This is a difficult one again. Yeah, made that. Look at this. Well, this is the top. Let's see if we can find a place to camp in this extreme cold here now. $1,400 meters. And the sun is down. It's 3 o'clock. This is the Sognefjells Lodge. It's closed. Here's the camera that you can see online. There's nothing open here for camp. I guess this is the loneliest road in Norway right now, but it's also the most spectacular one right now. So awesome. Just hope I can find somewhere. Might have to go all the way down to Turtøgre on the other side here. That might not even be open. We'll see. What a place. This is glacier country, but you cannot see that now. Yeah, nothing's open. Not a tiny little space to park. This amazing place here. This is the coldest of the coldest place. It is supposed to be as well, but so pretty. Just hope there's a place. This might be something. Maybe it's a road. This is it. How about this view? That's incredible. Let's see how we can make this work. Well, this is going to be extremely cold, but you can't beat this. I just have to be up here and just keep an eye on the temperature. Look at this place. This is insane. Look at that glacier up in between there. But here I am. It's a great spot. This is the view out my living room window. Amazing. And this. Can't beat this. Just hope it's not gonna get too insane cold. It is mighty cold up here. It is 4 o'clock, 4:30, and it's minus 16 degrees Celsius. I made some lunch, some simple lunch, a couple of tangerines, and just a couple of sandwiches with ham, cheese, and pesto. I'm a big pesto fan. Look at the mountains behind here. You can probably still see the outline. So cool. What a place. You can probably hear the heater going full speed. I put it on 20 degrees Celsius inside, 68, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. That's normally what I keep it on. The first season I was out, I kept it at 16 degrees Celsius, which is 60 degrees Fahrenheit-ish. And I was wearing a lot more clothing inside and stayed under a blanket. I like to have it a little bit more comfortable and warm inside now. I'm gonna be closed in here from 8 to 8, which is fine. It's only gonna be cold. It's not gonna be windy this first night. And I think the second night as well. And then there's a storm coming in. Need to figure out how I'm gonna deal with that. Ooh, it's cold. Just stepping outside for a little second to look at the darkness, see if there's any northern lights, which there are not. So I'm gonna head back in before I freeze to death. No point. Look at this morning here. The snowplow just drove past. Good morning, my friends. What a spectacular place and a spectacular morning. This is fantastic. Most important meal of the day. Coffee. So I had a great night's sleep. It's a little bit windy, but nothing bad. Tomorrow there's a big storm coming in, and this road is gonna get closed. It is already closed from 8 in the evening to 8 in the morning, but tomorrow it's probably gonna be closed the whole day. And I'm not sure how that works up here. So I'm gonna head down to a place called Turtagrø, which is right where the barrier is that they close. I know that they will keep plowing that after that storm, but the wind is gonna be worse down there. It's gonna be 26 meters a second. Hey Siri, how much is 26 meters a second in miles per hour?
26 meters per second is 58.16 miles per hour.
There you go. That's how much wind it's gonna be, and it's gonna be dumping down snow like huge amounts, so that should be very interesting. I might get stuck down there, but it's a good place to get stuck. It's a sheltered parking lot, or it's right in the mountains, so probably not very sheltered, but I'm feeling pretty good about that place being a smart place to hang out through the storm. That's where I'm gonna go today, drive down to Turtagrø. It's not far, it's just half an hour, but I think it's a much safer and more sound place to spend that big snowstorm. These mountains, they will close this road now in a week or two for the whole winter, and it'll open again in, I think it's May. So you don't get to see this stuff here unless you drive up now or you go in by skis. So this is the highest road that is paved in Norway, and it's a really harsh and inhospitable place in winter, and it can be in summer as well. But what a gorgeous mountain scenery this is. Still haven't gotten the sun up. It's 9:30. This is Smørstadbren Glacier. It's hidden under snow, most of it now. This mountain here is Store Smørstadtind. This mountain is Storebjørn, Big Bear. Getting some beautiful sunlight on these mountains now. Well, it's been very cold That's a lot of ice on the front windows. So the heat system in my Leisure battery, the lithium battery with built-in heat, does not seem to be working very well. Had this problem last year and I have this problem now. It's not getting enough power or current to raise the temperature inside the battery as it should. Today it was -2 and it quickly went up to 0 and then stopped. So I had to do a little hack. So this is what I've done. I put up this tube here that I got from a store yesterday, from a hardware store, and it pumps the warm air down on the battery here. Ideally it should probably have come from below here, but I wasn't able to remove that cover without destroying anything. Then it comes all the hot air that comes out from this heating vent here, and I closed all the other heating vents, so all the hot air from the whole van basically is coming through here. So it's working slowly. The battery is 3 degrees now. I don't know. Yesterday it took 4 hours for me to get the battery up to the temperature it needed to be to charge. I need to have a chat with support, and it might be my van that doesn't have a strong enough alternator. It usually sends 300 to 400 watts to the battery. That might not be enough. Alright, there we are. The temperature is up to 5 degrees and it's now charging 241 watts, 17.2 amps. So glad I could make that happen. Took me an hour and a half to get it up to this temperature. Okay, it's time to find a safe place to hunker down through this snowstorm. It's gonna be pretty bad, looks like. So, need to get off this mountaintop here. Although it's absolutely stunning here. Probably the most beautiful place in Norway right now. The plan is to hunker down a little bit lower and then maybe go up here again once the storm is over, if they open the road again this winter. Might be the last push to close it for the winter. Epic little spot there. Completely exposed to the upcoming snowstorm. Let's get down this ice road. There's no sand up here, but it's pretty dry. Whoa, that is icy. Now we're getting into another county. They might have some more parking spots. On this side, it's a different crew that maintains the road in this county here. Huge glacier over there to the left, hidden under snow, of course. Well, this one is open. Really open. gonna see if I can find a plow truck crew, and I'm gonna ask them if they plan on opening the road after the snowstorm. Maybe I'll ride it out up here. It is gonna be less windy up here on the high mountain. This is pure ice. Pure dry ice. Yeah, braking works. Okay, this is steep. Look at the beautiful views here. Steep and pure ice. I'm doing 12 kilometers an hour. If I should run out of luck, I'll just steer into the snow. This is demanding driving here. So, my advice if you end up in something like this ice here, is to go so slow that you can just steer into the snow on the side without causing any injury to body. It's gonna be a fix on the fender of the car or the van if you do that, but might get lucky too. It's still very cold. It's minus 14 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'm down off that thing. There's more difficult stuff to come. You can see the ice shining here. 15 kilometers an hour. This is so steep. There's actually a little bit of dry road in between here. That's really good for the grip. It's dark down in the fjords. So here's the, well, it's not a plow, it's I don't know what you call it in English. We call it snöfräs. And the plow is over there. So I'm just gonna find somewhere to park down here. So this is the forecast for tomorrow. A lot of snow. 4 p.m. it's gonna be 27 meters a second. 60 miles an hour. Something like that. A lot of snow. Might have to dig myself out of here. I'm gonna hunker down for the snowstorm, and I noticed that it's already snowing quite a lot, so I need to head outside and have a look. It's almost 7 in the afternoon, and it's minus 8.4 degrees Celsius outside, so it's pretty cold and it's snowing, so let's go and have a look. Nothing crazy yet, just slow little snowfall. Well, this is gonna be nice. There's the plow truck. It's my office. My office from the other side. Good morning. I had a great night's sleep again. That alpaca blanket is really nice when it's chilly. It's so large that I can fold it up in several layers and have a really comfortable and warm night of sleep. Got my coffee, the most important meal of the day, and It is a snowstorm day. The van is shaking and it's gonna get pretty mean. The wind drift is really starting to happen outside. It's gonna peak tonight after it's gotten dark again, and it's gonna get really heavy snow. Look at this. So I'm just gonna ride it out here, hunker down and get some work done. There's a cell tower I can see from over here. It's right on the edge of the parking lot. There's a Red Cross service building for a mountain rescue right next to me here, and they had showers. So I was able to get a shower this morning. Just gonna work and have my coffee and see if I get buried through the evening here. I parked in a way that would make the snow kind of disappear past me depending on the wind direction, and it seems to be working so far. My Christmas favorite, tangerines. So I just got notice that the road across the mountain is gonna be closed until tomorrow at noon at least. So good thing I'm not up there. It would have been fine, but it's always good to be a little bit aware of those things. And actually the wind was gonna be less up there, but the mountains are unpredictable, so it might be much worse. You never know. But down here I'm pretty safe by this Red Cross service building that is empty now, but there's this big like snow plow and rescue gear and stuff in there. And they have the shower, which is nice. There's the Turtagre Mountain Hotel behind here, but that closes in September. Doesn't open again until May or June. So there's no people here. I just heard the snowplow this morning and it came over to close the gate, I think, and turned around and went back. Here I am, right outside the gate actually. Gotta love this. Well, I just got a notification on my phone that the road starting from over here and across the mountain that I came down yesterday is now closed for the winter. Starting time today at 12:21. That's 20 minutes ago. And end time is gonna be May 1st, 2025. So I was the last one across. Super happy I was able to do that because that was so spectacular. I wonder what would have happened if I stayed up there tonight. They'd probably chase me down or something, because you're perfectly okay to stay up there before it's closed for the winter, but when it's closed for the winter they need to make sure that everyone gets out, so that there's nobody left behind up there. That would be something if I had to spend the whole winter up there. How about that? I would really had to ration my supplies then. I have to go the other way then, down into the fjords to exit this place again. It's going off in like gusts. A little bit calmer now. During the middle of the day, it's gonna take off again around 4 p.m. So there's a little bit of a break in the wind and in the storming. So I'm just taking a little bit of a hike outside to just look around. There's this waterfall over here that I want to check out if I can get to it, or it's probably frozen. Well, there's actually a bridge down here. Gonna go down there. This is gonna fill in with snow. It's not that calm after all. this is getting pretty awesome now. It's quite the storm. Look at my van back here. And yeah, hope you can hear me. This is what's up. This is a real blizzard now. This is the strongest one so far. Well, it's only the start of December, but pretty epic. So they closed the road earlier today for the winter, so it's not open until the latest in May. So I can understand that now. This is gonna be way too much work for them to open this road again. This is quite fantastic. I'm super stoked to be in snowstorms like this. I feel like I'm in a safe place, so nothing really to worry about here now. Yeah, so this is what December looks like up here in the mountain here. This is the most exposed road in Norway, basically the one that I came down off yesterday, so there isn't really any reason to be up there now that these storms have really set in. Look at the van now, it's disappearing behind me. So yeah, I found a way to get a little bit more light for filming my snowstorms. Basically just lights up the snow so you can get a little bit better impression of what's really going on out here. This coat that I'm using is also kind of cool because it doesn't have that fur edge around the collar here that gets all this snow stuck in it. So that has its purpose if you're way out there, but it brings so much snow into the van, so it's kind of a little bit annoying from time to time, but it does keep the snow from entering the face. Anyway, this is really something of a storm. It's supposed to be a ton of snow coming down. I don't know where it's gonna end up because of the wind. So it might end up in a corner, or it might end up blocking me completely from getting out tomorrow. So I hope they plow it in a few days' time. Got plenty of battery and it's not that cold, so I'm not using too much propane, I think. So enjoy. I wonder what's for dinner. So Now it's taking off here. Whew. Crazy stuff. Well, that's quite the storm out there. Just finished the first snowstorm video for the 2025 Arctic tour. So, cheers to that. Although this snowstorm is much more fierce, so I can't wait to make this video. It seems like it was a smart move to drive down here since the road is closed now for the season anyway. Up there it would have been crazy, I'm pretty sure. It should be peaking tonight, I think, according to the forecast. Let's see. Yeah, it should be peaking around 9 actually. Actually looks like it's gonna go on until tomorrow morning. And then it's gonna, the wind is gonna die down tomorrow, and then it's gonna continue snowing heavily tomorrow afternoon, Friday. Maybe there'll be a snowplow up here so I can get out tomorrow. I don't know yet. It's fine to stay here for as long as I have to. With this service, this Red Cross service building here for the search and rescue teams. They have an open bathroom and open showers, so it's kind of very convenient. I could get some water today for my 10-liter container, and then I had a shower, and it's even warm in there as an emergency thing, but it's warm in here as well. So got 1.5 bottle of propane, so that's like 7 days worth of propane eating here. But there'll be a snowplow here tomorrow. People will love to come up here for the weekend and be out in the snow. This is a good spot for that, so this is where they come up. Really grateful for you all that are watching. You are the best. Cheers. While this storm is raging, it's making me hungry, and it's 6:15, so it's dinner time. Today I'm gonna make some cheeseburgers. Ooh, we are shaking. This is quite massive. Well, I'm gonna head out again afterwards and have a look when it reaches the peak in a couple of hours. But first, cheeseburgers. I'm gonna do a little twist this time and make tzatziki with the cheeseburger. Wow, the wind is so strong the whole van is moving. I'm glad I parked it like I did, because it's in a really good spot. But it actually moved with this last wind gust. Crazy. Ooh. Okay, swap them. So it turns into a Greek burger in a way. Whew. What a storm. There we are. That's the burgers. Greek cheeseburgers, we call it. Right. That's a bit much, but had to finish it today. Do the dishes right away. Before anything gets stuck. Looks like we have a new episode of Yellowstone, episode 12. It's gonna be. Ooh. Ooh, it's really going off now. This is some crazy storm now.
How are you than it is in Texas?
I'm a stranger. Different times and two places, but we're talking at the same time. Hell, it should take my horse an hour to get to you.
I'm gonna let you think that one's really gonna tell you what you said. I'm not. I'm 2 copies away from having this conversation.
What are you gonna do?
Do about what?
The ranch.
I don't know. Rip's running it. Yeah. Some rich dude buys it just to play cowboy.
This is crazy. This is absolutely bonkers. Haven't felt the shaking in the van like that since hurricane.
And there's all those ranches in Texas. But I ain't built for that heat.
Think about quitting this already?
Once the ranch gets sold,
Don't matter. Some billionaire will buy it.
Incredible. I wish it was possible to see something out the windows, but it's so dark outside. Well, that was way too much food. Got all this stuff left. I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. And just do my tangerine for dessert. This is my favorite for Christmas.
she providing legal advice for the state?
No.
It was,
stuff. I don't know what to say, but this is really going off. It's definitely, this is pretty much the worst snowstorm I've been in It is just massive. Oh, and it's gonna peak now in 15 minutes or half an hour or something like that. And whew, insane, super intense. Whew. I've experienced in my van, or in anything for that matter. This is worse than the one I had when I was up by the family cabin. I'm a little bit sheltered here now, but just over here it is going off. So here we are. My camera is turning into a snowball, so I think I might have to go in and clean it off a little bit. Cozy, cozy, cozy land. Just crazy. Whew. Shaking so bad in here now. I'm a little bit concerned to be outside more. I was walking over towards one of the buildings and I felt like something could come flying off, so I think it's better to stay indoors, actually. Whew. It's shaking so mad. So 10 more minutes until peak. Things are really crazy outside now. It's just wow. It's just completely going bonkers now. So I walked up to the road just to take a look, and it's completely blown over, so there's no chance of getting out of here until there's a plow truck coming. Actually, the wind is blowing in a way that makes it easy to get out of the parking lot, but then it's straight into a snowdrift on the road, on the main road here, so just need to sit this one out, hunker down and ride it out. Some of the wind gusts that have been coming in now over the last half hour has been just insane. It's like feels like the whole van is gonna tip over. The reindeer and the bison are both approving of this weather. This is bison weather. Maybe I should name my van Bison. Looked like a bison with all the snow on it. Now, still watching Yellowstone here, just chilling in my little living room here, and listening to the incredible sound of this wind.
Say what happened. The style's got harder down. Kicked the cold even away. It was quick. Never saw it coming. What if that looks like you? Just saying he didn't suffer.
He's a cowboy. Suffering's the job. I just wish he was.
Very clear. Sure they'd like to be close to his family. Sure they'd like to have him close to visit. And then Grandpa. Yeah, very clear. Why? Just wondering. That's where you want to be buried.
Looks like we have the snowplow here. Lovely. Hello dear friends, winter season is upon us, and snow and blizzards and snowstorms and heavy snowfall is arriving in the mountains. So I'm doing my winter prep. I have put on my winter tires, which are Nokian Hakkapeliitta studless winter tires. They have served me well 2 seasons, so I'm on a 3rd season using them now, and they're just amazing. My van is, as most of you know, front-wheel drive, and it doesn't have a lot of horsepower, but what you really need for winter travel up here is proper winter tires. They do not have to have studs. Most people prefer studless these days, and they will get you around in most conditions. I've used my snow chains once. I always bring them, and the one time I used snow chains, that was on pure ice covered by like this layer of fresh snow. So there was no way of getting out on that. That's just completely ice. So there was a big layer of snow and then pure ice. So now for the first time I'm taking out my snow chains. Okay, gonna try with only one chain to get out. I think that should be enough. Looks like I need both chains here. I'm gonna put on the other one as well. Okay, I got those on as well. Let's see how this goes. Well, I guess that worked. Got the chains on now. So, worked really well. So this is where it kind of... I need to tighten this a little bit. The ice is just crazy here. This is just pure ice. You could skate on this stuff here. I think this Hertz rental car here is also stuck. Looks like it tried to get out and couldn't make it on the ice. But this is the reason why I bring my snow chains. It's not for snow, it's for stuff like this. Okay, let's see if we can get all the way out. Oh, it's icy here as well. Here's the tourists. Just want to repeat what I've said many times before, and that is 4x4 will not help you on ice or winter conditions if you don't have the proper tires. The proper tires is number one, and all-terrain tires will not cut it. You need proper winter tires. If you have the wrong tires here in Norway and end up in an accident that has to do with slippery conditions, they will take your driver's license away. So you need proper winter tires. Do not trust your all-terrain tires or your 4x4. You need, number one, winter tires, and then, of course, 4x4 will improve on that. If it's really bad, you can add snow chains. But snow chains is no good if it's deep snow. Then you need to do something else. Anyway, so I've changed my tires. I've added the insulation mat for my back door. That's the area which has the most heat escaping through. The other area that gets a lot of heat escaping is under the door, under here. This area here, where the door is, usually has a lot of heat disappearing, so I add some insulation there. Basically, I just add a roll of thermal insulation that I can remove every time I open and close the door, and that helps a lot with that area. It is temporary, so you can just kind of take it away. This is not the proper one, it's longer, but you get the point. For my front windows and passenger and driver side windows, I of course have thermal insulation that I put on. Another thing I get a lot of comments about is that I should have insulations on my window. And I do have insulation on my window. They are double layer, so they're not like the single layer that you find in a lot of self-build vans. And it's also this cover here has thermal insulation on the outside here. So when I close this, I've never had the need for adding anything else here. That's all working really well. So when it comes to water, I get a lot of questions about water in my tanks. And what I can say is that I do not use water in my tanks during winter. So I cannot use my shower and I cannot use the faucet or anything like that. The water pump needs to be empty. So what I basically do is that I empty the big water tank. I'm gonna get and then I empty the water tank that is for the heater or boiler. That's an integral part of my heating system in the van. My Truma Combi 4, really good system that is kind of integrated into the whole van. So I empty those tanks. So in here, under the seats, is the Truma heater. It's behind here, and this is a safety valve for the boiler that's inside the Truma heater. So that is open now, and all the water has been emptied from the boiler. And after I've emptied the tanks, I go around and I blow through all the faucets, open up and blow through it to make sure that all the water is pushed back into the tanks and kind of escapes while I'm driving with the open vents for that. So this is what I do. I turn off the power in the van so the pump doesn't go. Then I open it, then I just blow into it like that. And if there's water in the system, you can hear it running out, which is a really good way of making sure that you don't have anything inside here that's gonna freeze. So that's a good way to prevent the water pump from freezing. I also take care to drive around with all the pipes open so that anything that's still in the pipes will escape before winter and frost season sets in. So for water in the van in winter, I have this 10-liter tank here, and comes with this tap here, and it's basically super simple. And I keep that in the bathroom. It has never frozen, so should be all good. I also get questions about my toilet, and my cassette toilet, I can use in winter. I add this antifreeze if it's really cold, but most of the time I keep my van warm inside, and that seems to be working really well with the toilet as well. For my toilet, I have a couple of these here. And I just pour that in to the cassette toilet just a little bit to get it started with antifreeze, and it's been working in any weather, no matter how cold it's been, basically. It's a different thing with the pipes that run water from my tanks, because they're kind of out along the outside of the van. So they're not super well insulated, so I never take a chance with water in the pipes, basically. Everything is emptied of water. I add my insulation to various places, and of course the back door, that's the most important place. So what else do I do? I haven't started bringing all my stuff into the van yet, but I have a redundancy system for safety where I have a couple of winter tents, my winter sleeping bag, that is a Western Mountaineering winter sleeping bag, minus 40 degrees. I also have a couple of stoves that I can boil water in, and a lot of winter clothing and skis and stuff. So I'd be able to survive outside the van if something went really bad. So several layers of redundancy, and that goes for the heating in the van as well. I have the brilliant Truma Combi 4 integrated heater. Most pre-built European vans have that heating system, and it runs off propane in my van, and I've had it down to almost minus 40 degrees and never had a problem with that. It gives off a really good heat with no moisture. There's an exhaust on the outside of the van that takes care of the moisture. The heat that comes out is kind of similar to a diesel heater. It's a dry heat that will help you keep your van dry inside, actually. Another way of heating the van is, of course, to start the ignition and let it run. So that's the second redundancy. The third redundancy is my whole wild camping winter setup. That should be good for any conditions, basically. I have 2 sleeping bags, like 3 or 4 woolen blankets, and a lot of winter gear that I can put on myself. Layer upon layer of solid Arctic winter gear. So I'll be able to survive anything. Another thing I want to do when winter arrives is to cover up the sunroofs in the bathroom and the sunroof in the bedroom. And I'm working on a couple of ideas for that. So this is the bathroom, and as you can see, some stuff are getting in when it's windy through the sunroof here because there's ventilation built in. So last year I used these here, the Velcros. And this year I'm gonna add this thermal insulation here up to that sunroof there. And it is something that I want to keep open from time to time to keep it ventilated. But when it gets really cold, it's good to cover this with insulation. This window as well is double layer, and it has this thermal insulation here, so that's all working. I'm also adding more insulation to this rear sunroof here. This has forced ventilation, so you can never close this off completely, but I'm gonna add something like this and a cover on top like this. I have a bunch of this thermal insulation here that I use for various insulation projects. And as you can see in my back door now, I have this cover here, and that is also fastened just with Velcros, so I don't have to drill into the van. I use these Velcros here from Biltema for everything basically. And of course I have my cover for the front grille protecting the radiator, and that is not to insulate the engine bay, it's to keep the wind from cooling down the radiator too much. If I drive and it's very cold, the wind chill will keep the radiator so cold that it won't heat the inside of the van. So all I need is to block that wind from entering the radiator, and then the engine heats up properly. I've tried that out down to like -35, and it really works very well. Now this is the cover for my grill, and it worked really well last year, but I'm gonna strengthen the zip tie points with some stronger tape this year. It is really not for the insulation, it is for just keeping the air from blowing in through the radiator. In case you're wondering, I have an alarm system down here that will let me know if there's some dangerous air in here. It's kind of on the floor. And some more security stuff in here. And of course my no-code GBX45 is in here for starting the battery. I even have an ice axe in here, and it comes handy every now and then. Also doing a little test run on my heater. It's 14, 16 degrees inside here, and I put it on 25. And now I just heard it starting. Just gonna wait until I can feel warm air coming out of the vents here. So I got a heating vent here under this seat. Got another one here under the seat, and there's one behind the power station there that I have closed. There's another one here under the passenger seat. Kind of comes out here towards the door. Then there is one here in the bathroom right next to the toilet. And there is one here under the bed. So it's basically a lot of outlets from the heating system, keeping my van nice and cozy in winter. Yep, so that works perfectly. Let's not use the propane. Off. It's good to know that it works for the winter. Gonna put it back on electricity since I'm hooked up until I leave in a couple of weeks. There are a bunch of other things you can do, of course, and sometimes I do make adjustments to my winter prep as I go, but that's the basic stuff that I do. And then I bring a lot of gear, and I have a lot of extra thermal insulation that I might add and just tape to whatever is not working. So with my window here, last winter, this thermal cover here has kind of broken inside. I'm getting that changed now before I go on my winter trip. But last year I just kind of taped a different thermal insulation on top of that to keep it warm. But that was kind of a hassle to open and close if you wanted to look outside. And also my glow plugs are still giving me issues, so I'm taking it into the shop next week to have that fixed again, and I hope they can get to the bottom of that. It's kind of annoying, and with winter you really want your glow plugs to work. I got through the summer and it only gave me a warning signal like once every 2 weeks. But now as it's getting colder, it's getting annoying because I get the check glow plug warning every time I start the van when it's warm. Never when it's cold for some strange reason. So there's my winter prep for 2025. It's going to be my third season, and my experiences are pretty good with everything that I've done so far. There's not been any issues really. I slid off the road once, and that was not something I could have done anything with. You would have slid off that road no matter what your van was like, because it got off the pavement, and outside the pavement it was just sloping. It was just the weight of the van basically that pulled me further out. So no 4x4, no snow chains. Of course you never drive around with the snow chains on. So let me explain something about having insurance in Norway. The insurance company wants you to use their tow trucks if something happens, because they do not want you to self-rescue in most situations, because you could injure the van. And that is understandable, so it doesn't cost much to get a tow truck to pull you out. But if you did something really bad and you harmed the vehicle, that would be much more expensive for the insurance company. So that's why they keep the out-of-pocket very low, $50 to get towed out of something, and it's just so much better to have professionals doing that than you trying to self-rescue and you break things and you have to claim that from insurance. So they don't put any penalties either on that if you use a tow truck. It's just like pay $50 out of pocket and that's it. No reduction in your coverage, or no added expenses or fees or penalties or anything. That's just the way it works here in Norway. I know it's different in the United States and stuff like that, but it's a great system, and there's no point in destroying your van to try to do something that could be risky or something. That's something that's really good with insurance here for the vans, is that it's they cover these things that makes life easier. Anyway, I hope you'll join me for this season of extreme Arctic winter van life. I'm gonna go out now before Christmas, and gonna continue up north into the Arctic and see some new things and experience the great polar nights in the north. Now, of course, if you have questions or things you want to say, I'm always excited to read all your comments and try to respond to everything. Also, if you want to follow my journey and see my maps and see where I find my best campsites and facilities for the Arctic winter van life, you can sign up as a member here on my channel by pushing the join button, or you can join my Patreon, which is patreon.com/Norwegian Explorer, Explorer with an X. And I post all my maps there and exclusive content and background stuff. Also, it really helps if you subscribe and like this video. So thanks for watching, everyone.